Last one I want to show you. I'm just intrigued about that.
Hey guys, welcome back. It is NAMM 2025. We are here with the Alvarez booth. I'm here with the star Alvarez TV, Chris, and also like massive designer and pusher of all things Alvarez. You're the man.
Thank you. So are you. You are the man.
I am so far from the man, but this is actually our first time getting to hang out together. Watch this guy a bunch. If you haven't yet checked out Alvarez TV, check that out because there's some really cool information. That's where I end up learning most of my stuff. We got George over here. I can't learn anything from him. I'm like, he's a great guy, and then we learn a ton. No, there's a lot of cool things coming. One of the things that got us really fired up about Alvarez, because we were not a dealer until last year, when I came in here and I looked at the new Laureate series. And that was what really sold me on what Alvarez was doing. I mean, I paid attention to it. I know it's great stuff, but the Laureate series really got my attention, and I was really impressed with it for the price point. So there's some new changes to the Laureate series, correct?
Correct.
So tell us, what do you think is the highlight of it, and then I can tell you the rest of the stuff that I know.
So, as you know, we only came out with 6 models last year. It was a big change for us, not just traditional bridge. We brought in ebony to our sort of more affordable line, but also the approach to Laureate is hand-selected parts, so all the components are the best that come into our world.
Yep.
So we wanted to keep it fairly tight to make sure we did it well, because if you go too wide, too quick sometimes, it's a problem. We had a fantastic year with those 6 models, and then people said, why is there no mahogany? So
Number one request,
where's the mahogany? Because they were all rosewood. So we've expanded all the models to 24 pieces. They're all mahogany. There's a new color called Sunset, because we launched with Daybreak, which is a very light colored burst. And then we came out with a new shape. It's our take on a 0012 fret, which is
grab some of these.
Which is
This is actually one right here.
Yeah.
This one speaks all of what you just said. Mahogany top.
That's it.
Mahogany back and sides. 00 style, 12 fret body. I'm a huge fan of 000 12 frets, by the way.
They're my favorite guitar shape.
And it's so weird because it's not a whole lot of people doing 000s. Double O's got really popular in these single O's, but 000s to me are cool. I think of my favorite one was Merle Haggard had a 000 45. Love that guitar. I want one just like it.
You know, they're so balanced. There's lots of air volume in this body. It's the same length as a Dreadnought. It's fairly deep. Obviously, the top bout and low bout are not as wide, but it generates enough air volume to get the sort of resonance and volume out of it that's surprising for a medium-sized guitar.
And it still has this really cool mid-range depth. That's what I love about 12 fret 000s.
Here's another one. So this is our new color.
This is the new color.
So it's called Sunset, which is the opposite
Absolutely
of daybreak.
Beautiful color. I just saw it in a 14 fret Dread. I love that color. Again, I'm gonna give you guys a heads up. Everybody's been knowing about this, so you might as well talk about it here. Somebody walked around here, said they got a hygrometer, and it was 18% inside this building. 18% humidity. So there's been some rough stuff. There's some guitars getting lost, and I know that's kind of scary.
We've done pretty well, actually.
Are you doing good?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely, good.
We've only lost one.
Only lost one. Some of the companies have lost some $20,000, $30,000 pieces. Yikes. But this color, stunning. I gotta say, it's probably my favorite. Added the herringbone trim to this too as well.
Only on the rosewood. So we have brought the color on the mahogany.
Makes sense.
We added a little bit more bling on the rosewood models, and it just goes so nicely with the contrast. A little bit of light herringbone into the rosewood.
I love this push of, because I think that's what's cool. You guys have always been a forward-thinking company. Alvarez has always been a forward-thinking company. Yairi, forward-thinking company. But I love that you now are a traditional company because you've been around so long. You are, and I love that you're kind of balancing out traditional builds with a traditional company that's been always so forward-thinking.
So that's what Laureate gave us. It gave us the vehicle to make or to focus on traditional stuff. So doing a 12 fret 000, there'll never be a grand auditorium in Laureate.
I love that. I love that. You heard it here first. Chris said it. Chris said it. So, man, that's what I'm going to say. 15 years, you come out with a grand auditorium.
But also, what I love about the history of this shape is, like, you know, when Martin came out with the O series, that was a big guitar.
It was.
It was called a concert instrument.
Yes.
People were coming out of the home into concert halls. Then they came out with the 00, which was like, that's a huge instrument. Then they came out with this. I think in 1902, people were like, that's too big. We don't want that. And now it's like a medium size.
Now everybody considers this tiny. Yeah,
that was the concept.
Yes.
You know? And I love that history, like the way, certainly, you know, Martin's history has affected and influenced all of us, right?
Everybody.
And we should,
no matter what.
That,
I hate that when companies kind of ignore. There's certain pioneers that are part of this whole world, and we got to recognize it.
Absolutely.
And that doesn't mean that you can't do a balance of that.
Correct.
So yeah, good job. That's a great attitude.
But this wasn't received well back in the day, and of course, when they came out with the 14th fret, 000 and the OM, that shape just changed. It came in here,
14,
got a bit squarer, and this disappeared for a long time.
To me, this is what a 000 is. By the way, I'm going to argue with Martin, people. I believe that the 14th fret is an OM, and it should be long scale. And even if just because you made it a short scale, it's still a short scale OM. That's my opinion. I'm going to stick with it. It'll always be. That's a 000. Yes, Jason.
What's the price on the 000?
000. All of these are going to be the same price, correct? All the mahogany guitars, except for the mahogany top.
Yeah, is that $11.99 or $12.99?
I see $12.99 on the Sunset. Is the mahogany top the same price?
No, it's That's $12.49.
$12.49.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what this one says. $12.49. I'm sorry. We're gonna find it.
And then we go to $14.99
right in there.
for the rosewood.
Okay.
With the herringbone. So again, it's like us trying to bring something of value, a bit of a luthier bench-made approach to a production instrument is really what this line is about.
Very, very cool. Another thing that I wanted to talk about today is this is an anniversary year for Alvarez.
Yeah, man.
And we have an Alvarez anniversary guitar.
We do.
So we're going to come around the corner here. Excuse us. And we've actually got two of these. These were limited 4 pieces total, 2 of each of them to each dealer in the country.
Yeah.
And we actually did order 2 of each of those, so we'll be seeing these in here. But this is from the Masterworks series.
Correct.
60th anniversary.
Correct.
Done in 2 finishes. You have the sunburst finish and you have the black top finish. All solid wood guitars.
Correct.
Gonna have the black finish. This will have the add-on, so it's 60th anniversary of the abalone purfling.
Yeah.
A new cool 12th fret logo that looks a lot like the other, but if you're paying
You
attention
are well
to detail,
informed, John.
I'm on this stuff. I watch your channel. I know what I'm doing. 60. If you look real close, Trent, get that right up in there. There is a 6 and there is a 0 in there for the 60th anniversary 12th fret inlay.
Beautiful.
I'm hunting for your job.
Beautiful.
That's what I'm doing right now.
You're hired.
Solid rosewood backside, Sitka spruce top, limited edition.
And again,
Go ahead.
black and rosewood.
I like the look.
Just looks great. And we've got our diamonds in the inlay and
Diamond,
the
that's
fingerboard.
right. I forgot that detail. 60th anniversary is a diamond anniversary, diamond inlays. Yes.
Chris, explain the Alvarez wrist. Take your time.
Okay, so we're gonna get into the Yairi bridge, the Alvarez Yairi bridge, because that's what the Alvarez modern bridge is about. So they want to know, will you explain why and how this all works and how it got it down to the standard Alvarez line?
Okay. So Mr. Yairi was always confused about a traditional guitar bridge because there is opposing pressure on a guitar bridge. You have the strings pulling things up and you've got the pins pushing things down. He always was uncomfortable about that. And he thought, can I get it where I've just got the tension on the actual bridge itself without the pull on the bridge at the same time? So he decided to separate where the string pins were anchored so the bridge didn't have that opposing pressure. So he came up with this. It's called a direct couple bridge, and it's really difficult to do. This piece is made from a piece of material which is a mix of like an ebony and the stuff which is they use for circuit boards. So it's super hard. The inlay goes in there, and of course it's very difficult to do because you could easily crack the top. But he perfected it, and he believed in it. It also gives you more. Some people believe this and some people don't. He thought it'd give you more down pressure. Some people will say it doesn't because the down pressure ends on the saddle, but it certainly gives you more break angle on the saddle. And I have made like identical Yairis where I've put a normal bridge on, and they do feel tauter, just a little bit.
I would assume that it has to.
So
I agree with his theory myself.
So he believed in string tension because he said, get as much tension in the sound box as you can. You can release it, okay? But it's like he wanted that tautness, and he wanted that response.
So that's the start of it, and then you guys moved it into the Alvarez line. Obviously, it's a lot harder to do this, and that's why it's reserved for the Yairi line.
Correct.
Because it's, like you just said, very hard to get that done in the numbers that they're doing those. It's available in the numbers that have to be done to make Alvarez what it is. It would be probably impossible to keep
I think
up
it's
to
the
that.
skill set as well.
Okay.
Like taking time to put that extra piece in. You know, you're taking strings and the pins straight into the top. You got to be very careful.
But there's a lot of things that are actually still, not just the shape in the reserve, but
Correct.
that you brought down this lower bout
Correct.
so you have a stronger break angle.
Correct.
And you also have the opening of it to take some of that tension off of this side
Correct.
of the back. See, I'm a smart guy.
He's coming to join us, man.
I told you, I'm shooting for your job. George,
You've got it.
George told me.
I'll retire.
Just kidding. No, that is really, really cool. And again, I know we're going to be seeing even more Alvarez stuff working its way into the shop. My next series that I'm planning on bringing in is more Masterworks. This year, you're going to start seeing a lot more of that. Obviously, more Yairis. In fact, we were just talking about this is going to start coming towards the show. Do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, I think
This is a reserve-ish kind of thing, but we might as well talk about it.
you know, we launched a lot of new models last NAMM Show, and we were slightly overawed with the response. And as you know, lead times have been getting longer on Yairi. We are starting to catch up. So when we launched this, they sold out very quickly. It's a redwood and an Indian rosewood top. Again, I found this wood in Yairi. It had been sitting there for decades and decades. There was only about 150 or 160 tops. It's like old growth coastal redwood with the finest grain. And these guitars sound like, to me, they don't sound like anything else. You know, they're complex.
Redwood has, yes, very, I was going to use that word, very complex tone.
But redwood is a lot harder than cedar, and you get that kind of power there as well. But we have managed to source redwood of this quality, so we're going to continue with the redwood tops, which is great.
Very, very cool. So we'll see that. I actually talked to them about a folk size or their OM body shape size. I'm pretty excited about getting some of those in here. Yes, Jay? 2 questions.
I was asking, you know what he asked. Are there any JP signatures hiding over?
Okay, so we worked with JP, and you
Yeah.
know that, and you've worked with JP.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy, and we obviously ordered the big bulk of the
Yeah.
JP signatures coming in. I know there was an issue with getting some of this sourced Adirondack tops for
Correct.
those. Are we still on target for a March-ish?
Shipping in March.
Okay, so there you go.
So-
I made this guy have to tell us, so there you go.
You know, it's we're always bound sometimes by supply of raw materials, and being natural materials, that sourcing runs hot and cold. You know, so we were set back a little bit with our Adirondack. We could buy Adirondack, excuse me, but the quality we needed, we couldn't get a lot of it. That's all fixed now. So JP's model is on its way.
Good. I think we have 6 of them that are due for that first batch. And I think I may have 1 that has not been paid for and spoken for yet. So
Right.
if you're still looking for it, give us a call. Other than that, I think all of them are reserved. Yeah.
Same line. Got any more Honduran mahogany?
The Honduran Mahogany series. How long till we run out of those?
So the vintage
The vintage.
Honduran that I found by accident 8 years ago or whatever is going to run out this year.
So how do I reserve most of it?
So the thing is, you know, I understand the romance around that wood. It's sat there for 50 years, and it's amazing. And when we found it, I couldn't believe it. It's like I'm sitting there. One of my colleagues scratches because it oxidized. He scratches the black off, and there's this golden brown shining through. And it's like, what? We have used it all. They will all ship this year. So by about, I would say, August of this year, we would have taken everything from Yairi. We have sourced more Honduran. Honduran series will continue. We've sourced the best Honduran mahogany on the planet. There's nearly 2,000 sets sitting in St. Louis now, on its way to. We've made samples with this stuff. It's the same Honduran as the best guitars in the world is made from, and we were very lucky to be able to get that supply. So it will continue. We have made samples of the new stuff. They sound as good as the old stuff. Little different, but I wouldn't say worse. And we'll continue with the series.
Okay. Well, I expect to work with you, and we'll discuss those 2 things.
I mean, I tell you what we should do.
we should do it together.
We should do it together. So we should, when those new ones start coming through, we'll hold a couple back, and we'll do an A/B test in the store.
Yep. And then we'll go over to England, and we'll do it at your store.
You're more than
Your
welcome.
space. I
Anytime.
would love to.
Anytime.
You know, that's one place we never got to go when we were touring in Europe. I never got to go to
Yeah.
England.
Like JP comes over as well. He plays. He always plays that festival in.
JP's good. We weren't that good, so
You're pretty good. You'll get some gigs in England. No doubt.
I'd love to go.
No
I'd
doubt.
love to go.
You're
We'll
more
go hang
welcome,
out.
man.
That'd be great.
But thank you for your support. Your
Absolutely.
channel is awesome.
Thank you so much.
And very talented players as well.
Oh,
so,
thank you.
yeah,
Love that.
Really are.
Jason, you have another question for us before we go?
Question. Is there any chance of getting a Masterworks with an Adirondack top?
Is there a chance of seeing Masterworks with an Addy top?
There is, and it's something that's on our ideas list. You know, it's the balance between economics sometimes, right? So we have Yairi, and we love that and kind of protect that in a way, but we do know that I want something out of our Chinese factory because the quality that we're making there is so good. With more traditional woods is on the ideas list.
Cool.
And I'm trying to source Honduran, which is affordable. It won't come from Honduras or Guatemala, but I don't know if you know, but the British planted lots of
Really? I did not know that.
Lots of macrophylla, Suetina macrophylla in Fiji a very, very long time ago.
Fiji?
Yeah. It's exactly the same species as Central America, and it's a little bit more affordable, so we're talking to some suppliers. So if we can get those woods, make the economics of it work, then yes.
By the way, did you catch that right there? He had to make sure to point out the British are what saved.
I shouldn't say that because I'm very embarrassed what the British did as well. We did make some mistakes along the way because we were also responsible for cutting down all the real mahogany in Central America.
I know where you're going. Anyway, it has been awesome. I love getting to hang out with this guy. Oh, one more question. Oh, geez.
Somebody asked, Peter Hardy, where are these guitars being produced? Let's go over where.
So there are 2 major factories right now. You have this one here, which is Yairi. This is in Japan.
Yeah, so it's in Kani, which is just north of Nagoya. Take the train, 40 minutes if you're ever in Nagoya. Yairi factory has been there for 90 years. They've been working with St. Louis Music and Alvarez for 60 years. But Kazuo's father was a violin maker, and then they started making concert classicals. And then when Gene Kornblum, who owned St. Louis Music, he met Mr. Yairi in the late 60s. And this.
And then when we move to the next series, which is the Alvarez series, those are built.
They're made in China.
Yep. Are you building out of one facility?
Correct.
Okay.
And the production is Alvarez production. It's not the factory that spits everything out. Correct.
Okay.
We've been there 14 years, and they are part of our business. We're part of theirs. We're very close. We share the same R&D teams. We work together. We do sourcing together, etc., etc. And awesome bunch of people. It's down in the south near a place called Shaman, and I'm not into hopping around factories, man. When you find somebody good,
that's great.
Stay there.
And especially to make sure it stays that way for the whole line. That's pretty awesome. Not everybody can do that. So to answer that question, if it says Yairi on it, it is built in Japan. If it says just Alvarez, it will be out of their Chinese factory.
There's 2 logos.
Yep.
This is the Yairi logo, and then obviously made in Japan. In the 80s, when Korea opened as a more affordable manufacturing base, they came up with this logo. So this logo is on Alvarez, and then it went from Korea to Taiwan to China. But this has always remained on the Japanese stuff. So Alvarez Yairi, Alvarez.
There you go. And there's your difference.
Yeah.
Guys. All right, we're gonna hop out of here. I won't take any more of Chris's time. I've had a great time chatting with him. Later on, we're gonna go out for beer and fish and chips.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be the greatest.
One beer?
All right. Okay.
You're going to get a shock in England.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. That's what I'm really excited about. I want to know, is it really better fish and chips and a beer in England? You know it is. I know it is. We all know it is.
Oh,
you can't fake it. Anyway, we're gonna make that happen. Thank you all for being with us. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe because we're hitting you all weekend long with NAMM live coverage as well as some film coverage. So much new content coming out. We're gonna show it all off here. So check it out, Acoustic Shop. Make sure to check out Alvarez TV as well.
Thank you.
Bye guys.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, buddy.